So this morning, I would just like to offer a practice. Some of you may be familiar with centering prayer. This is out of the Christian tradition. It was created by Father Thomas Keating. And it is a form of meditation that Christians do. And it's a little bit different than you may have experienced as meditation. The basis here is that God is not separate from us. The divine is laced into our being at the deepest level. It penetrates every particle of our being, every cell of our being. And yet, we sometimes are not aware of that. So in centering prayer, you just assume that is the case. That you relax, have your breath be soft, be in a spacious, and we might say a Ya-Raqib type space, like watching a sleeping child in a loving, watchful, protective of our entire experience. And then we can choose a phrase, something very simple, like, "Come, Lord," "Let me see you, Lord," or "Be here now," whatever works for you, that you would use if thoughts come. If thoughts come, you simply say your phrase as a way of reorienting. And what we want to do is just simply be attentive to the divine. We're available to the divine. And then we just look to see what shows up. There have probably been times in your life when you know the divine is operating, when you really needed it. Usually when things are going well, we're sailing along. And when times get tough, we start to see what it is within we can rely on. Well, centering prayer is simply a way of cultivating divine presence, cultivating the divine presence in ourselves as a daily practice. So we don't have to suddenly be thrashing about if there's something we haven't expected or a crisis. So again, it's simply letting the breath be calm. And as I suggested, a relaxed, spacious awareness in which you're not unaware of the loving factor that's there already. Remember this week we've been exploring the relationship between truth and love and authenticity. If we are in an authentic place in relationship to our experience, we're not excluding anything, or we're not trying to pretend that something isn't there, we're completely available to our experience, then we're in the truth. We are the truth. And automatically, if we're in the truth, love is present there as well. A kind of love that doesn't pick and choose. A kind of love that's always undergirding everything. So, given that as a preamble, I just invite you to choose a phrase like "Come, Lord," that you'll use when thoughts come, and they will. Thoughts coming are not a problem. They're just what happens. They don't even come from you. They just appear like clouds. So just, come, Lord, and return to a watchful, loving awareness is from Dorothy Hunt. It's called A Single Spark. Long before the world began, before the rivers found the seas, or birds built nests or sang, or mothers birthed their young to suckle at their breasts, we lived as an eternal flame inside the heart of God. Then with a single thought, I am, this vast eternal light exploded from within, creating sparks inside the dream, inside the mirror, inside the flame that thrust us naked in a world of two, a world that seemed so far from home. And from a single brilliant spark, we journeyed in 10,000 forms, looking for the light we were, the light that casts its shadow in forms called me and you, male and female, parent, child, lover, and beloved. We traveled on through endless time, trading shapes and trading genders, dreaming births and dreaming gods, laughing, weeping, fighting, dying, searching for our endless love, longing to return, and yet the longing is the love that calls us to itself. Sometimes by grace, a moment comes when love returns itself to love, and eyes gaze deeply at themselves, inside the mirror, inside the dream, inside the spark, inside the flame. And tears of gratitude are all that can express the endless beauty of that love. Mm-hmm. So our journey this week has been about love in the end. Alive and awake, we're in love. We are that love that returns to itself. So just remember, when times get tough, even that is love trying to return to itself. Be a little open. I'm trying to think of who said this. A great scholar of world religions on his deathbed was asked, what is it that you've learned from all your studies? He said, this will sound a little silly, but try to be a little kinder. Try to be a little kinder with yourself.